First is a light heavyweight fight between Israel Cole and Ernie Magdaleno. They are going 8 rounds, and let's meet them with Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the San Diego Sports Arena here in San Diego, California, where tonight Top Rank Incorporated, in association with the undefeated King of Beer, Budweiser, present professional boxing for your entertainment. All the bouts tonight are sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. Let's get things started with an 8-round bout. This is in the light heavyweight division. The referee for this first contest is Raul Caiz. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with gold letters. He weighed in at an even 178 pounds, originally from Sierra Leone, West Africa, but now living and fighting out of Los Angeles, California. He brings a professional record of 13, 7, and 4, 8 of those 13 victories by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, he's UFO, the unforgettable one, Israel Cole. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the gold trunks with light blue trim. He weighs in at 179 pounds from Westminster, California. He's undefeated as a professional, 14-0 with 6 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, Ernesto Mad Dog Magdaleno.
Let's take a look at the rules here in the state of California, Davey.
All right, the no 3 knockdown rule is in effect. That's a little bit different. No standing 8 count, which is also different. The physician can stop the fight. 10-point must scoring in effect. 3 judges score the fight. They're all familiar. And the fighter can only be saved by the bell in the final round. In many states, you cannot be saved by the bell at all.
And the butt rule, incidentally, after 1 round, they go to the cards. That's only in a few states.
Yeah, it is only in a few. Win the first round. Very critical.
That's the bottom line. Ernesto Magdaleno, Israel Cole. UFO, he's going to be in my top 10 nickname list, though. I like that.
Well, Cole's camp definitely of the colorful variety when it comes to quotes and everything. At the weigh-in this morning, his trainer Al Stanky said we're going to spank Magdaleno like a stepchild.
Now we'll see if words translate.
Put a little bit of pressure on his fighter.
Magdaleno has a couple of impressive wins. He had a TKO win over James Kinchin. Now, admittedly, Kinchin not the same Kinchin that there was a couple of years ago.
Barbara, Magdaleno took a bit of a chance tonight. He was offered at the last minute a shot on the undercard of the Holloway boat fight Friday night, the WBO title fight. He turned it down because the commitment was already made here. So he stays with the commitment for a much smaller payday.
Something of a local fighter from the Los Angeles area, Westminster. Good body work by Cole.
Cole has been a sparring partner for the likes of Barkley, Hearns, he said, and his schedule strength in his eyes makes him a superior fighter tonight.
His problem is inactivity, basically. He's only had 1 fight this year, and that was fairly recent, on September 28th. 1 fight last year, 2 fights in 1990, 2 fights in 1989. He just doesn't pluck it.
It is so tough to get momentum when you're not fighting a lot. And that is one advantage that Magdaleno has.
Neither man a huge threat to get you out of there, particularly with 1 punch. Although Magdaleno is on a streak of 3 successive knockouts. Cole, a nice combination.
Cole getting up the middle nicely. I think the body shots in the beginning of the fight bothered Magdaleno, and now he's gotten his attention.
Fantastic job. Right hand to the back. You see that? You see the back?
Nice combination by Magdaleno.
Here come those UFOs from everywhere. Cole tried some awfully wide shots there, left himself open for a counter. He seems to like that right hand digging into the rib area.
Magdaleno undefeated in 14 fights. Cole 13, 7, and 4. Interestingly, 4 draws. Man has had his moments in this first round. Tough round to score. Magdaleno and Cole, end of 1. And we'll be back right after this. Good look at Ernie Magdaleno. Very close first round. How'd you see that first round?
Definitely around for Cole. The body shots inside I thought were more punishing, and he took the aggressiveness and really wanted to press this fight. Magdaleno looked bothered by that assault.
He can hit you. Bobby Hare can hit you. Bobby Barkley can hit you.
Cole also did take a little bit of fashion statement with those shoes, huh?
He definitely goes for as much notoriety every time he fights. From the statements, from the wardrobe, and from the nicknames.
You can see Cole doing much more work in the first round and landing almost twice as many punches. I didn't realize he threw that many punches.
What that tells you, too, is what an idea he had about his rhythm, whereas Magdaleno was really trying to find himself in the first round. Cole came out firing.
Cole not fighting like a guy who's 13-7.
No, he has a lot of confidence here. His belief is that he's been his own worst enemy as far as inactivity and taking some fights on short notice. A lot of fighters with that record feel that way. You really have to feel that way if you're going to go in and continue to fight. Cole is doing a nice job on the inside here. Good combination by Magdaleno, but Cole's happy in there. He would trade there all night if he could.
Not a lot of real bombs thrown really by either man. Looks at the moment like Cole is the harder puncher. Even though he only has 8 knockouts in his 13 wins.
Magdaleno appears a bit tired here already.
Yeah, a little bit sluggish, doesn't he? Going backward a lot.
Not really putting any snap into his shots. They're wide punches, and he's taking a beating here so far.
Yeah, I think he got hurt by that uppercut. Another good right hand by Cole. Cole doing very good work underneath. Good body shot.
Well, Magdaleno has the look of a fighter who didn't get all the training he should. At least that's the way Cole is pursuing him here.
Those body shots really are having an effect on Magdaleno.
Well, this is an unbeaten fighter who does not look 14-0. There are very punishing blows landed by Cole downstairs. And I'm surprised that Magdaleno has not tried to adjust a little bit. Start moving around.
He's going backward in a big hurry, too, and I really think those body shots will really have an effect on him. This is an 8-round fight. He's got a long, long way to go.
Well, he's really going to have to suck it up, because he is being beaten in the quickness department, in the accuracy department, and in the power department.
We've come to the end of the second round, and another very good round for Cole. And if he's in shape, he may have enough to score an upset here.
Cole is winning the fight right here. Get inside, pound the body first, and then he can go upstairs on the uppercut after that. His body work has been very good so far.
Two very good rounds for Cole. Cole was born in Sierra Leone in West Africa. Now he lives in Venice. Is that a culture shock?
So far, he's been a culture shock.
Watch your head, gentlemen. Don't stop!
Doesn't really do too much by the book.
Punch! Punch! The left hook, Ernie! The left hook!
In the second round, you can see Cole throwing an awful lot of punches. 240 punches in 2 rounds he's thrown. That's a good number.
And telling blows to the body versus the pouring shots by Magdaleno.
I don't think your card is any secret. It's not. Cole with the first 2 rounds.
He deserves them so far, and Magdaleno content to fight inside, but he'll have to get the jab moving more and try to offset Cole if he wants to get into this fight.
And you made a good point, too. His punches are really pushing kinds of punches. They're also looping punches.
And when you look at him after those shots, he's leaning, he's off balance, and very ripe for counter.
Also ripe for an uppercut.
Punch, let him go, He may reach Ramzi Hassan territory tonight. In 1991, he was hurt by Hassan and had to question whether or not he wanted to continue to go in the fight. He won an 8-round decision, and it looks like he'll be in just as much trouble tonight so far. There's a headbutt that didn't get called. And a holding and hitting that didn't get called.
Still pushing kinds of punches. None of those are punches that can really do any damage, I don't believe. And Cole's just trying to hold him off.
Referee letting them go, but he really should break it up here because this is not an effective way to let them fight. Cole should not be allowed to hold and hit.
There was a left hand that Magdaleno did get in with.
A couple low ones by Cole that shielded the referee too.
Now, Cole's not doing much about getting off the ropes.
Some fighters will use the ropes as a little bit of a rest period, but that would be a mistake for Cole because he fought the first 2 rounds so well. Certainly is not a pretty looking round.
Magdaleno just trying to muscle Cole now.
And he may win the round on the perceived effective aggression.
Exactly.
Top of the ball. Lunge, your hands free.
End of round 3, and this is more what Cole didn't do to win the round than what Magdaleno did do to win it, and yet you have to give it to him. 7:45, Thursday night. Meantime, we start the 4th round here. A little bit of a better round for Magdaleno. As you said, it wasn't pretty.
No, Magdaleno may have received a gift in round 3 because of the style that Cole chose to employ. Cole's a little bit more effective on the outside now, and I think he realizes this is where he has to be.
Let's take a look at the punches in the 3rd round. You can see Cole's production dropped off by almost 50 punches, and Magdaleno's picked up by a like number.
And you could take a look at effective punches in that round and maybe come up with like 5-3. But the fact is that Magdaleno was throwing them, and he'll get credit for them.
Cole seemingly doing more what brought him in the first couple of rounds, keeping Magdaleno in the middle of the ring. And jabbing a little bit better this round.
That was a trap he would be ill-advised to repeat. He's much better getting in Magdaleno's face and trying to go to the body, which is a target he cannot miss.
Another clash of heads a moment ago, and he's letting Magdaleno back him up now. And for some reason or other, he's forgotten about the body shots that did so well for him in the first 2 rounds.
This is a critical turning point here for Cole because he's in danger of letting what he worked for slip away. Magdaleno survives the rocky start and then gets to go to the body some more and get into his plan. And he's been there before. He may rally to win this.
Cole's starting to look a bit tired to me.
Yeah, that mouth is open.
The left hand's dropping a little bit more.
Small cut on the lower lip of Magdaleno.
Punch.
And a swelling over the left eye of Magdaleno. That could cause him a problem. That eye could close.
And you've got the heads coming together too.
Yes. That eye could really be a problem for Magdaleno as this fight goes on. It's swelling quickly.
Keep him up, Israel.
But Cole is really looking to me like there's not a lot left in the tank.
Starting to look like who doesn't want at least.
Punch. Hands are free. Pick him up. Push it back. Pick him up. Push it up. Push it up. 10 seconds. Stop at the bell.
End of round number 4. A little bit closer round. You can really make a case for either man in this round. We'll be back.
Cole manages to get his left hand working there, a short chopping left hook, and then he backs up.
You gave that round to Cole, though.
Tough round. They were very close. I'm sure that that could go down as a split round when you look back at it later.
This is about, what, a minute and 10 seconds between rounds there?
I'm sure neither fighter will argue.
Mickey's hand went past the 12, I know that. They were not quick, incidentally, to get the end swell on the eye of Magdaleno. They did get it on, but they waited. Through the first 4 rounds, remember, Cole would throw him 240 punches in the first 2, so his production has dropped off some. And Magdaleno, conversely, has picked up his connect percentage.
And this fight very competitive at this juncture.
of Cole still by 2. Well, there were a couple of rounds. I'm sure you could go either way.
Especially the last round. Will go down as a tight one. Magdaleno really having trouble pursuing Cole, cutting off the ring, and getting to where he wants to throw shots. When it's in close like this has been his best sequence so far. He'll need Cole to get tired to do what he wants here.
Cole may be doing that, though. Cole's taking a lot more punches than he should.
And staying right in front of Magdaleno voluntarily. If Cole makes Magdaleno track him down, he'll see that Magdaleno really can't do it effectively.
Punch! Hands are free, punch!
One of the few backhand jabs you'll ever see.
Stay on! Stay on! Punch!
And he's getting some insight here about Cole and his gas tank. No reason at all for him to be here. Absolutely none.
Did it in the 4th round too, remember?
And a lot of time in the 3rd round. The fighter's going to rest and try to steal points. He should try to tie up and not make it look so obvious so that the points don't get held against him.
And Magdaleno very slowly starting to take control of this fight. I use control with some control.
Loosely and advises there. And Cole is bringing the fight to Magdaleno in this round in a way that's perfect for him. Tailor-made.
Yeah,
walk right in.
Bringing his chin to Magdaleno. That's a point being deducted from Cole. That could cost Cole.
That really could cost Cole. It looks sort of an arbitrary call there, too. You know, if in one round, round 3, referee lets the fighters do practically anything, they get the idea they can get away with that, and then you take away a point. That's not smart.
And Magdaleno throwing a lot of punches at the end of the round. Plus, it cost Cole a round, so you have to think that that's going to be a 2-point round for Magdaleno.
Absolutely.
Kramer, Cast of Thousands, the Major League Expansion Draft on ESPN.
And Magdaleno doing some good work in there with that left hand. He was very effective.
Cole comes out winging a right hand.
Cole experimenting with southpaw here for a second.
Not a bad idea with the eye being a problem for Magdaleno. Even fight on your card because of that 2-point round last round.
Point being deducted and Magdaleno winning it on his own. And that is a backbreaker for a fighter in an 8-round bout where he's starting to have trouble and would like to rely on that early cushion to try to get it home, and he can't because the point gets deducted.
In the 5th round, you can see Cole's production dropping way, way down. Magdaleno, on the other hand, even though they're not pretty, scoring with a high percentage of punches.
And perhaps the most revealing stat there, the 19% connect percentage for Cole. He's just dragging his arms out there now, and this is why he's got the huge number of losses. He's got some ability, but doesn't get into the best shape he can for every fight. And inevitably, that lack of stamina will betray a fighter. And he's allowing Magdaleno to creep back into a fight where Magdaleno was having a bad night for a while.
Yeah, he had a beat, actually, in the first couple of rounds. Cole doesn't seem to be able to muster any offense anymore with any consistency.
Now there's some blood starting to form out of his nose now. Fighting in spurts, and that's it. Very tired.
And wide open.
You saw him go to the body with a bandit during the first couple of rounds, and that has stopped. And the jab is just thrown out there lazily.
Arms down around the waist.
And a fighter's got to be thinking, why didn't I do that, Wardlow? Why didn't I go to the gym a little bit more? And the very same strategy that Cole was able to use earlier, Magdaleno now exploiting the body shots.
Don't push, baby. Don't push now. Come on. Whip it out.
Well, the stepchild spanks back.
Yeah, that's right. Cole is just there to be whacked. He is waiting to be knocked out.
And Magdaleno can't get there.
Yeah.
Well, he's not really a fast puncher.
There was a right hand, and that started him down. Won't take much.
This could be happening at one of the bars around here.
Yeah, it's true. And Cole is just in all kinds of trouble trying to hold on, and will apparently get through this round.
Keep it clean. Let's go. Keep it clean.
How can Magdaleno miss a target like that? Cole is wide open, and he connects.
So 2 rounds to go in this fight, and Cole, as you said earlier, is there to be knocked out if Magdaleno could do it.
And Cole starting this round as he has others, on the balls of his feet a little bit, dancing around. We'll see how long it takes for him to go flat-footed and then to get tired.
In the 6th round, you can see the way this fight has gone. Magdaleno's production has stepped up. Cole's production has gone absolutely the opposite way.
So 45-14 and 73-16. Something like 125-30 in 2 rounds. That's dominance.
Magdaleno just following Cole now.
He really should be unleashing.
There was a left hand, but it was a lunging left hand.
Go to the body, too. He's got to get down there and set it up and not try for the one shot.
It's the first fight of our night, an 8-round fight. Israel Cole and Ernie Magdaleno. Cole started out very quickly, won the first couple of rounds, but Magdaleno has gotten himself back into this, still to come, of course, our main event. And we're going to be taking you live to Las Vegas. We'll be talking with Al Bernstein, who usually sits in the chair, occupied ably tonight by Dave Von Temple. We'll talk about the fight coming up on Friday night between Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield. They had the weigh-in a little bit earlier. We'll tell you about that. Not even take a whack at who might win that fight.
I hope it's not as tough a prediction as tonight.
That's true.
With Jesus. Magdaleno again prospering in here with the body shots, and this is where the fight began to turn in round 3, where Cole voluntarily went to the shelter of the ropes and stopped becoming an offensive force.
That'd be a bad idea for Magdaleno to take a step back, as he did there.
And it would be nice if he could get some hips into his punches here and get more power. But he's wide open for counter shots too, except for Cole doesn't really have the stamina to go get him.
So we come to the end of the 7th round, and I don't really believe the decision in this fight is any longer in doubt. Ernie Magdaleno will run his record to 15-0 for better or worse.
10 seconds.
He might have made the right choice not showcasing himself on the card Friday night.
He didn't look ready tonight early.
Really didn't. End of round 7, and he likely will come away with a W, and I suppose that's the bottom line.
It's not for a world title.
On, incidentally, a half hour later than usual, something to point out. Final round, Israel Cole, Ernie Magdaleno. Cole won the early rounds. Magdaleno has taken charge of the fight since round 4.
He's had 3 rounds in a row where out-punching Cole by at least 35 punches, 50-15 in the last, and he's done enough now to overcome the shaky start. But still, when they look back at this fight, his people have to be a little concerned about the wide angle of his punches, the inability at times to finish Cole when it was there, and at times the general awkwardness he displayed here.
Here is your card. That was a good left hand from Magdaleno. You have Magdaleno comfortably in front now. And once again, the end seems imminent.
Cole looks like he knows what to do to get through the end of the fight, but little else.
He's got a long way to go here.
But this type of strategy is a fighter's worst enemy. You get hit with a lot of your shots. In this case, you get hurt a lot, and there's really no reason for it. other than lack of stamina.
Cole just trying to hold on. Cole is a very tired fighter. Another left hand that Cole was right there for, but Magdaleno just didn't really hit him with it.
And Magdaleno has not put shots together at all tonight. Now, the one punch to the body is a good one. He should go upstairs right after that. You cannot create speed. You can teach a fighter a lot of things, but speed is not really one of them.
There was a here it comes left hand. Cole did nothing to get out of the way of it. It landed flush and didn't really do anything.
Get the hand out of there.
It's funny, you do enough fights over the course of the years, just the sound of the punches, you can tell how hard they're being thrown. These are pretty marshmallow punches.
Fighters back on their heels in a flat-footed mode and not really getting a whole lot in. And you saw throughout a lot of this fight, Magdaleno has thrown his from a squared-up position, taking all the power out. They'll just look back at this as a W, not a virtuoso performance.
Cole fighting back a little bit.
Cole again gets a glimpse of what could have been if he takes his fights more seriously.
Yeah, he really does have that sparring partner's mentality, doesn't he?
He had a very good beginning to this fight and then faded.
And he looks like a guy who knows how to fight. It's just knowing what to do and being able to do it, I suppose, are two different things.
And being willing to do it.
So we will stay while we await the decision. I don't think this decision is very much in doubt.
Not anymore. And it's not easy to rally from a 2 rounds deficit halfway through an 8-round fight, or even 3 rounds through an 8-round fight.
Take a look at the totals in this fight, and you could see Magdaleno. Remember how far behind he was after 2 rounds. He wound up landing 147 more punches than Cole. That tells you how Cole went in one direction and Magdaleno in another.
And Magdaleno averaged, how sometimes numbers can be deceiving, he averaged nearly 100 punches around, but did not look like the guy who averages 100 punches around. A lot of them were pushed.
So they administer now, just try to get some ice on that swelling. That is the face of a fighter, isn't it?
Can't deny that.
Let's get to Michael Buffer for the decision now. Mike?
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Frank Rustich scores the bout 78-72. Ernie Swanks has it 78-73. And Pat Russell scores it 77-74 for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Ernesto Magdaleno.
So Ernesto Magdaleno is the winner, and as Dave Bontempo pointed out, in the end, it's a W. And that's what you have to say about our first fight. We'll be back.